It is week 8 and we are carrying on from last week's example, and this week I'm again talking about basket stitch, but I'm going to show you how you can use it for filling shapes. And so we're going to start by filling in a round shape. So I've got my friction pen here again, and I'm just going to draw a round shape the best I can. It doesn't matter if it's not completely perfect. Now, whenever you're doing these kinds of filling, it always is easiest just to draw the shape of whatever it is you're wanting to fill. And I'm going to again be working with 3 strands like I did in the last week, and my large eye needle. So what I want to show you with this is just using the same technique we used before, but how you should view that technique as something suitable to fill in areas. So I'm going to start from the outside of my shape and starting at any point along. And then I'm going to again work my blanket stitch coming round, but this time I'm following around the line. So I'm creating these stitches and I work outwards. So what will always happen is my spacing on the inside will be closer together than my spacing on the outside. Now, as you go round, what you'll tend to do when you're working is move your hoop so you stay in an optimum position for how you kind of want to use your hands. I am fixed in a place just because I'm doing it for this video. So now at this point, it makes more sense for me to just do a double technique, i.e. go in underneath the fabric and back up again, because I can't really reach round to do everything all as a surface stitch. And again, just bear in mind this whole idea that you can pull these tighter. If you don't feel like it's quite tight enough, you can always pull it tighter. When you get to this point, you kind of have to make a judgment about how you're going to join up. Do you think there's room for 2 more in there, or do you think you're better just to go for 1 and accept that it's a little bit awkward? So I'm going to go for 1, keep this one straight, and then I know that I've got a little bit I can go across and just finish off. So I've got that first circle done. Now what I'm going to do is just go in again and do another row. So I start filling further in, and I'm going to follow this line round. And here you could vary the colours, so you could work in a different shade, or you can just keep going. And as you get closer in, your stitches have to get closer together. So if you start very close together on the outer edge, then you may be regretting that right now. So we get another line in there, seal that one off. And then I could go for the next circle going in. And this time I'm probably getting pretty tight on my stitches. So what I'm going to do is just extend it a bit, but go all the way to the middle. So I don't think I've got room for 2 circles in here. I think I've just got room for 1. So you see, I'm going to go, and then I'm going to come right, bring my needle right into the middle. So every single time my needle's coming into the center. There we go. And then we close it off. So you see how I've created, just using my blanket stitch, this circular interlocking shape. Now there's no reason that that only has to work in a circle. That can easily work going around in a square as well. So let me just show you that, because this is a useful way for filling in shapes by having some coverage, but not so much coverage it feels too heavy. So back, I'm just going to seal off my thread. Now I've drawn my shape there. I thread my needle back up again. Now I'm going to work around, do exactly the same method, but I'm going to work around the outside of this as a rectangle instead this time. So remember to catch it. So when I get to the corner, I might want to put a diagonal in. So actually what I end up doing in order to create a diagonal is going back into the same hole, but then I come up at the corner and I catch it there. So you see that creates my diagonal for me. And then I'm going to do the same thing and go back in to the same hole and then get my corner. So I've got my corner going there. Then carry on down the side. And the more you do this stitch, the more you just naturally work your way around how you want to vary it. So I'm back at a corner again, so I'm going to go back into this bit, and then on the corner, bring my needle up, this and into the corner again, bring my needle up, okay, and going round. And I'm on the corner again, so much like before, you get into the hang of this. We're going to do a diagonal and then a diagonal. We carry on. When I get to here, I'm just going to want to add in that final diagonal stitch like I've got on the others. So here, up to this corner, and then I just take it back down again so that's secure. Now I'm going to again go round and add another line of basket stitch going in the middle. So when you get to here, now you need to continue your diagonal so you get your edge in at this point. So a diagonal stitch will pick up going along there. You see? And then here. So you get your diagonal continuing down there. And again, this is my corner now. So at this point, I'm at the corner. I'm going to go across to here and pick it up. So where we've ended up with is we've basically got one little bit here left to fill. So I'm just going to finish off, close that thread down, just lock it in place. And then we've got one more to go. So I'm going to start again. I'm going to go across and up. Then into here, go into the center, to my diagonal, up the center, now this is where it's complicated on the final bit, because I'm actually going to go straight back into that hole again, and this time I'm catching it over here, and straight back into the corner again, catching it over here, straight back into the corner, catching it here. Now I'm running very low on thread here. I'm going to make it to the end, but it's tight. Here we go. And then our final one up to here. And I take my thread to the back and I will close it off. So this is taking blanket stitch to a more complicated level, but you can see how effective it can be for filling in different shapes and creating these varied textures. And the key thing here is to play around. You'll only know what you can do with it the first time you do it. So just have a play, try fill in some different shapes, and as you get to know a stitch, you'll know how to work with it more comfortably. So that is now, we're going to finish our 2 variations of blanket stitch.